Akan dibincangkan dengan lebih lanjut dan akan
bukan situasi masalah kesihatan semata-mata. Kita juga melihat
agensi atau kementerian perlu merancang satu projek dengan terperinci.
AELB sebelum ini. Untuk makluman Yang Berhormat Menteri,
The concept of public accountability is to become a crucial piece of representative democracy concerned about the need to comply. To ensure proper and effective public financial management is mandated by laws, system, and regulations. It is provide the method of direct and indirect citizen accountability for the use of public agencies' resources, authority, and power. United Nations Development Programme claims that the idea of accountability involves the public satisfaction with the services provided. In addition, the more conventional compliance with procedural norms and budgetary restrictions.
Parliament. The Parliament is a prime political institution of the country that holds the government accountable and the government official. The government cannot make the new law or raise new taxes without Parliament agreement. The Parliament and its members have the important roles and responsibility for the government and the people from both Dewan. The responsibility of Parliament is to pass, amending and repealing acts of law in Malaysia. Parliamentary members are given full freedom to debate and discuss various different current issues in the interest of the people and the country.
Public Account Committee. The committee will have the authority to send for people documents and records and report sometimes. Both members of the opposing party and members of the ruling party are represented in the PAC. The PAC is in charge of reviewing audit reports and government accounts, AG. Civil officials may be called before the PAC to explain any financial regularities in their ministries because the PAC has the authority to send for people, papers and records from any ministry. Public Account Committee, Works, PAC. The committee consists of a chairman and vice chairman to be appointed by the House, and not less than 6 and not more than 20 members to be motivated by the committee of section as soon as may be after the beginning of each parliament. In the absence of chairman or vice chairman due to illness or for any other reasons whatsoever, the committee shall elect any one member to act as a chairman to preside over the committee's meeting. No member may be appointed or motivated to or act as a chairman or member of the Public Accounts Committee, while he is a minister. To commit shall have power to send for person, papers and records, and to report from time to time. The composition of members of PAC include the member of parliament from the ruling party, from opposition as well.
Auditor General frames a significant capability during the process of national accountability. It is guarantee all types of defensive means toward resources and public property. It is maintain all accounts and record by coordinating the budget report independently on the record of the federal government, state and federal statutory bodies with the exercise of the ministry, department, agency and companies under the federal and state government.
After we discuss about Auditor General, now I'm going to explain to you about how the Auditor General work based on audit report. Firstly, as soon as the statement required by Section 16 of the Financial Procedure Act of 1957 has been prepared, the Minister or the Chief Minister of a state as the case may be, should transmit the statement to the Auditor General, who should immediately cause the statement to be examined and audited and prepare his report therein. By the meantime, in the event of any statement not being received within a period of 7 months after the close of the financial year to which it relates, the Auditor General should submit a report to that effect to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, who should cause to be laid before the Dewan Rakyat in the next meeting. On the other hand, before submitting the report to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong, the Auditor General also must submit a copy thereof to the ruler or Yang di-Pertuan Negeri of that state, who shall cause it to be laid before the Legislative Assembly. A copy of every report relating to the accounts of the Federation prepared in accordance with subsection shall be transmitted by the Auditor General to the Minister, who, if the Dewan Rakyat be not then sitting, shall cause the statement and report to be published. The Auditor General must immediately notify the Secretary General of the Treasury of any serious irregularities in the accounting or custody of public funds or stores that are the subject of his audit if he becomes aware of them. If the funds or stores are those a state or public authority, he must also notify the State Financial Authority, the head of that public authority, as applicable. The Auditor General has the authority to provide suggestions and general commentary on all issues pertaining to public accounts, public money, and public stores in any report presented in compliance with Section 107 of the Federal Constitution. Then, what we can conclude from this mechanism, which is the Auditor General may at any time to report to the Yang di-Pertuan Agong on any matters related to the discharge of his obligations or the use of his authority under this act of any written law. The Auditor General may also send a copy of any such report to the ruler, Yang di-Pertuan Negeri, or Minister of a State. Therefore, that is all of my presentation about how actually Auditor General work. Thank you for your all attention.
Okay, so what is a ministerial responsibility? Ministerial responsibility, the principle of ministerial responsibility ensure that the government act as one entity and that this entity is answerable and accountable to the parliament. It has been observed as a constitution practice in the government based on the Westminster that tie in the cooperation between parliamentary members. The underlying principle is the entire government act, not the individual minister is responsible, like Ahmad Faiz Yaakob. The principle that minister must support cabinet decision or resign from the government. Minister usually part of a part and unity can be undermined by rivalries. Okay, so how does ministerial responsibility work? In Westminster style government, individual ministerial responsibility is a constitutional convention that a cabinet minister bears the ultimate responsibility for the action of their ministry of department. And every minister must be responsible upon every action taken by public servants directly under his authority or even for action not known to him. This is one example of how ministerial responsibility works. The doctrine of ministerial responsibility is important because it is a backbone of the cabinet system as practiced in the parliamentary system. As our Prime Minister, YB Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri bin Yaakob, and Senior Minister of Defence is YB Datuk Seri Hishamuddin bin Tun Hussein. Senior Minister of International Trade and Industry and more are among the serving minister.
In conclusion, what we can conclude with all these four mechanisms, we know that if there is a lack of accountability in governance, will encourage corruption, bad management, misuse of authority, betrayal of trust, fraud, and bribery. At the same time, we know that the aim of Public Account Committee is to look into federal finances as well as how money collected by Parliament for public expenditures is distributed. Meanwhile, the core of effective public government is accountability. And after all the presentation that we just did, we knew that the role of a Malaysian Auditor General is actually to simplify public sector accountability. And not forgetting about Parliament, which they are involved with YDPA, Yang di-Pertuan Agong, Dewan Rakyat and Dewan Negara. The Senate is the highest half of the state legislature. So, thank you for all your attention to our group presentation about the public accountability in Malaysia.